Before we start, I just wanted to say that this is my first ever review, which is probably why it's not going to be as good as other reviews that people have done on this game. But anyways, let's just get right into the video. We all know how Security Breach was a massive disappointment to the FNAF franchise and its community, with most people agreeing that it is the worst game in the series. Many were hoping this wouldn't happen again, and when the Ruin DLC was announced, many people were hoping that it wouldn't be a big, buggy, confusing mess like the main game was, and it would actually have a solid story. A year and a half later, the trailer was released, and many people were confident to say that Steel Wool had actually learned from their mistakes, and Ruin was going to be very good. And now, with it actually being out, is this actually a step up from the base game? Is it any good? Well, let's see. First things first, Steel Wool was actually able to keep a stable release, with the trailer announcing that Ruin would come out in July, and its release staying in that month. That's a huge step up from Security Breach's release delays. It couldn't even keep its release in the same year, and Ruin kept it the first release date announcement almost perfectly. And speaking of, the trailer is amazing too, showing so much, and all of it actually being in the game, something Security Breach massively failed on. I'm sure that's why the trailer was so close to the game release. Props to Steel Wool for listening to the feedback. For the actual game. Right off the bat, the quality of the game is so much better and creepy than that of the base game. The darkness makes it 10 times more scary than Security Breach. It is way more linear than Security Breach, which I love, and also adds to the scary factor in environments. Things are very destroyed, with the floors around us being broken and sunk in, and the lobby being almost completely destroyed. We make our way over to a broken bot, holding a flashlight, and we are ready have another step up. There's no battery flashlight. Let's go! No, but seriously, the flashlight on the main game was quite an annoyance with the battery, at least for me. And on the topic of equipment, there is pretty much no way to defend yourself in this game, unlike the Security Breach, and when you had the phaser blaster or the camera, which made the game super easy after you got either of those. In Ruin, there is none of that. No weapons at all, so that's another improvement. The saving in this game is also so much better, and not having to manually save and it automatically saving is absolutely amazing. There are also no security badge levels like there are in a Security Breach, which I like. There are also many jump scares that actually scared me the first time playing my game. That yet is another improvement, actually being scary and tense than the base game. The death jump scares in this game are absolutely amazing instead of just a shaky camera with their head moving around. The cutscenes in this game are very cool and are a big step up from the main game. They are super cool in my opinion and show how much Steel Wool actually put into this game. It also lets some stuff make more sense instead of just teleporting things all around. So overall, in terms of quality, gameplay, and scariness, it improves on all of that from the base game. Okay, now time for one of the main reasons Security Breach was hated so much, the story. In Ruin, as a new protagonist named Cassie, we are tasked with finding Gregory, who has called us to the Pizzaplex. Upon arrival, Gregory is nowhere to be found. We move further into the Pizzaplex, soon finding a walkie-talkie that has Gregory shouting out for help. He informs Cassie that something grabbed him and that he's consequently trapped in the sinkhole under the Roxy Raceway, of which we learned about in Security Breach. So throughout the whole game, we're trying to make our way to the sinkhole while deactivating things called security nodes using the mask. Oh wait, shit, I completely forgot the mask. The mask is such a cool feature to have in this game, allowing us to go through walls, collect AR presidents, deactivate child and security modes, and meet the entity. Oh, wait, the entity. Okay, we'll talk about that when we start talking about the characters. Speaking of mechanics, let's focus on the Phas wrench as well. It doesn't do too much except allow us to open doors and do the security node puzzles. Why did I say that like it's not a part of the main game? It's also a very cool mechanic, and the puzzles associated with it are also cool and fun to do. However, they do get a bit repetitive. Anyways, moving back onto the story of Ruin, we make our way through the Pizzaplex, deactivating the nodes, and soon end up in the salon area. Using some cutouts that are displayed to us, and a bit of Roxy dialogue later, we can make out a story on how Cassie and Gregory met. So here it is. Cassie was having a birthday party at the Pizzaplex since her dad worked there. That was said earlier in the game, by the way. And since Roxy was her favorite character, that was who was coming to the party. However, as soon as Cassie was happy and excited about the party, it was said that no one had shown up for the party. Cassie runs off and hides somewhere, crying because she is heartbroken that no one had come to her party. Soon, Gregory, who was in the Pizzaplex, I'm assuming because he snuck in, comforted Cassie and made her feel better. However, I don't know how long later, I'm assuming years after, probably after the events of Security Breach, where I assume he's gone into hiding or something, I don't know. He's seen as missing, and Cassie's obviously very sad, because I assume that they became friends after they met in the Pizzaplex. That's at least what I got from that section. It's not 100% accurate, so I don't know. We do soon have an encounter with Roxy and her trying to attack us, thinking that we're Gregory, and telling us to give her back her eyes. It is kind of cool because she doesn't actually kill us and says, "Ooh, error," when she hears Cassie's voice, probably recognizing her from the birthday party. Anyways, we go into Botany Bowl, which is where everybody can click their videos with. Great. However, instead of just a 2D animation or cutout, it's actually possible to see a real Glamrock Bonnie all messed up. It's a very cool Easter egg that I'm glad Steel will put into the game, knowing so many people and fans of FNAF wanted to see a actual Glamrock Bonnie, and our wishes were received. So many YouTubers are struggling, and so was I, to actually get it really and just use hacks, but I actually ended up replaying the game 3 times and got it legit. I must have been one of the only ones to do it at that time, and I think I'm just cool. Please believe me, I don't have actually any footage because these are all the only 2 photos I took because I was playing on a PS5 and I'm not gonna get hacked on a PS5. Please believe me. Anyways, next we move on to Phaser Blast, which is actually revealed that it's the Princess Quest ending that's canon. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought it was the Afton ending, but I'm surprisingly wrong, which is kind of weird and confusing because why is the only animated cutscene, like fully animated, not canon, and the one that's a comic book is canon? They do try to clear it up with putting comic pages of all the endings except Princess Quest to clear it up that it was Gregory's comics, but Princess Quest ending was a comic ending. So why is it canon? That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, moving on. We also see a hostile Headless Freddy, so yay, cool, more clickbait. Anyways, we move our way back to Roxy Racers, where we're told to enter the sinkhole, but we need to deactivate the final node, which is of course fucking Roxy. After she was the only nice one. Are you kidding me? Why did it have to be Roxy? Anyways, after a very heart-touching moment of deactivating Roxy, F in the chat, we are now able to access the ending. So, to be honest, the ending was pretty predictable, but it was still super cool. We are actually in the sinkhole, which is where the Afton ending actually took place, but we know it isn't canon now. However, we can still not access FNAF 6 since it's destroyed, I guess because of the sinkhole collapsing. But anyways, we go into a cave and something, and soon we see Candy Cadet! What the well, at least we didn't predict that, at least. Candy Cadet tells us a story about a boy and a mother who lived in the woods. One day, the mother trapped a monster in the basement. The boy was scared, so the mother would sing the boy a lullaby to sleep. One day, the monster learned the lullaby and lured the boy down to the basement, opening the door, and then he powers down. Anyways, we make our way through, whatever. Soon we reach a room where we can turn off the MXES system, opening a door and actually reactivating Roxy, if you didn't know. Also, I was going to make a statement about Gregory's backpack being there. It was a backpack with tape, and it said, like, Gregory. But actually, I'm pretty sure, when I played through at least, the tape that said Gregory was gone. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why they removed it. Maybe it was just an asset that they forgot to took off. Like the tape, but I actually don't know. That's actually super interesting. I don't know what happened to the tape, but that's weird. Anyways, we break through some concrete, and we get a huge reveal.
You saved me. Gregory? I'm Gregory. You're not Gregory. What are you?
I'm Gregory.
Yeah, we expected you. The Mimic! Whoa, what a shock. Totally didn't see you coming. Yeah, literally everyone predicted that. It was also kind of obvious with some of the parts where Gregory was talking to us.
Can you hear me? I finally have a clear signal. Gregory.
Anyways, Roxy tries to fight it off, and while that's happening, the actual Gregory contacts us, informing us that we were never supposed to come to the Pizzaplex and that we need to get out immediately, also saying that his friend has a map of the area, who I assume is Vanessa, but that's not clear. They then get an epic chase scene running from the Mimic, and by the way, I'm only going over the canon ending, so yeah. We soon are able to enter an elevator, and the door cuts the Mimic's arm off. Gregory talks to us and soon says this.
It's not your fault. I know you did it for me, to save me. But we can't risk being followed. I'm sorry.
Gregory? No!
So yeah, the elevator falls and we die. Not because at the post-credit scene, you see a voice line. Well, see, hear, whatever.
Cassie.
Alright, and I think the last thing I need to do is the characters. So let's move on to the two elephants in the room. The Mimic and the Entity. I think the Mimic is what we hear from the Tales of the Pizzaplex books, an entity who is built for good by Edwin Murray, but it actually turns out evil. Actually, Daco has a good video on this. Go check it out if you want to learn more about the Mimic. I'll have it in the description. By the way, he also explains the Entity vid too, but I'll explain it just a little bit here. I think the Entity, I agree with Daco, is a security measure put up by Vanessa and Gregory to keep people from accessing the Mimic. But yeah, just go check out Daco's video. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, go check that out. Anyways, let's move on to the enemies of Chica, Monty, Music Man, and stuff like that. They're pretty much the same from Security Breach, however, completely destroyed. Chica has a bunch of mold everywhere. I think her model looks pretty cool, and she's, like, super, like, freaking, like, the way she walks and just everything I love about her. And Monty is completely destroyed with his endoskeleton showing, like, his whole body shell was ripped off and everything. And the Music Men, they're literally pretty much the same from Security Breach. I don't feel like they're any different. Now we'll go over actually two interesting cases as well. Glamrock Freddy and Glamrock Roxy. I saved these for last because these are actually pretty interesting characters. Roxy actually ends up being nice to Cassie, yet is mad at Gregory for obvious reasons. She is actually very compassionate for Cassie because she actually ends up remembering what happened to Cassie's birthday party and how she just started crying. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty cool plot line and makes for a very sad moment towards the end of the game. And Glamrock Freddy is actually headless and hostile, chasing us and trying to kill Cassie. I think this is the same Freddy from the main game because we know in the canon ending, which is revealed to be the Princess Quest ending, Gregory actually only takes Freddy's head, leaving the rest of the body in a phaser blast. Also, I think Freddy now uses fucking echolocation to find Cassie, and if that is true, that's really fucking cool. Okay, and now I'm actually done. It's safe to say that this game, or should I say DLC, completely saved Security Breach. Well, I wouldn't say completely, but it definitely did save Security Breach in many people's eyes. And probably the whole franchise as a whole. I don't know. Maybe I'm taking a bit of a stretch, but I think personally. It tied up some loose ends from Security Breach while creating its own fluent story, which is really cool and so much better than what Security Breach was able to do. It also showed that Steel Wool can actually create a very good game and scary game, and now people are actually starting to believe in Steel Wool again, and I'm actually happy that Steel Wool has gotten right to create FNAF games. There are a few things that don't make sense and I don't like about Ruin, like how the story of the endings from Security Breach, like the ending they chose to be canon, is a bit weird, and the way they try to clear it up is a bit weird with the comics from Gregory. yeah, that's a bit weird, and I don't know why they removed the tape of Gregory on the backpack, but that's also weird. But yeah, there are a few things that is a bit confusing that I don't like about Ruin. But overall, it's a pretty good game. I'd give Ruin a 8.5 out of 10 as a overall game. It's not flawless, but it pretty much almost is. It's safe to do that this is actually my new favorite FNAF game. And thanks so much for watching. If you could, please like, comment, and subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. I spent so much time on this. Please fucking kill me already. Ah! And now, time for some bloopers! The boy was scared, so the mother would sing a boy... The boy was scared, so the mother would sing a boy... The boy was... Oh my god, you know what? I'm just gonna restart the whole goddamn thing. What the... Possible to see a real Glamrock Brett. Brady? Was I about to say Brady? And not even Freddy. What the? We start to walk over to a blokey, God damn it!